Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to the Mindfulness Daily Practice. Hello. Hi, Cece. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Robin. Hi, Jean. Hi, Dee. I can't see the bubbles at the bottom of the screen today. Something different about the interface. So I can see how many people are here. I just can't see who's here, except I can see the chat. So hi Suzanne, hi Tea Lady Nat, hi Emma, hi Kate, hi Magdalena, hi Rachel. Welcome everybody. It's Mindfulness Hour today. So we'll spend an hour doing our practice and see what happens. I think these longer practices are really useful. Not that the shorter ones aren't, but you can start to see kind of the whole range of things that we can experience. So you can also start to see physical pain and your reaction to physical pain. Because as we sit for longer periods, it can become uncomfortable, and so and I will guide you today what to do, how to manage discomfort if you find that over time you start to get more and more uncomfortable. But this is part of the practice. Seeing as well how we react to physical pain may mirror how we react to emotional pain. Is there a bracing against it? Is there a desire to push it away, to hope that it doesn't happen and that we don't experience it, that it can come back some other time and not bother us right now? So we'll explore today a longer seated practice. And next week we're going to get into a body scan. And so our main topic of next week is about body scan, be chatting about what body scan is, what is the purpose, what are some of the benefits of body scan, as we close out this week this topic about Shunryu Suzuki. And we've been doing a lot of quotes about Shunryu Suzuki, about beginner's mind, about living in the present, about non-striving. Interestingly, a lot of the same attitudes of mindfulness-based stress reduction come up in these Shunryu Suzuki quotes. So it's been a real fun time for me to share these quotes, and hopefully you found them interesting and useful as well. And today I've got a few bonus quotes that I'll go through before we start practice, and then we'll get into our practice. So let's say a few more hellos. Hi Dirk, and yeah, let's see here. Just want to go through a few of these quotes now before we get going. Just a few extra ones that aren't necessarily related to these topics, but ones nonetheless that I'll talk about just briefly. And I'll preface this first quote by the way that we want to be more compassionate people. I mean, I think many of us have this goal to be more compassionate, but how do you do it? And one of my favorite quotes about it comes from this book, Mindfulness in Plain English, by Bhante Gunaratana. And the idea is that the way that you become more compassionate is that you learn more about yourself, and the more you understand about yourself, the more you develop compassion naturally, because you recognize all of your own human failings, all of the difficulties you have in life, and as you meditate often, it begins to resonate with you that this is not something that's unique to me. I realize that what's happening and what I'm experiencing is something that everybody experiences. So Shunryu Suzuki's quote on this is, the best way is to understand yourself, and then you will understand everything. So when you try hard to make your own way, you will help others and you will be helped by others. Before you make your own way, you cannot help anyone, and no one can help you. And so So the next quote I want to read through is just about perseverance in the practice. And so I think if you've been joining me for a while, you know that the one thing that I want to emphasize more than anything is regular practice. That if you really want to see the benefits of mindfulness in your daily life, is to practice regularly, and also to bring mindfulness into your daily life. So to not just be mindful on the cushion, but also to start to be mindful off the cushion. And so those times that we're out in our daily life, how can we integrate mindfulness into our daily lives? So some ways are like when you're waiting for the bus, can you, instead of checking your phone, can you bring attention to your breath? Can you bring attention into the present moment instead of going to that habitual thinking that most of us tend to do, and that we've got this little device as well that's like kind of our aid, our second brain we're using for our own habitual thoughts. So the quote here is, while you are continuing the practice, week after week, year after year, your experience will become deeper and deeper, and your experience will cover everything you do in everyday life. The most important thing is to forget all gaining ideas, all dualistic ideas. In other words, just practice zazen in your certain posture. Do not think about anything. Just remain on your cushion without expecting anything. Then eventually you will resume your own true nature. That is to say, your own true nature resumes itself. So keep practicing. And then this week we talked a little bit about the idea of the second arrow. So the first arrow is the real arrow. It's the real physical arrow, the pain that you and that you do experience pain, physical pain through that. The second arrow is the reaction that you have, the reaction in your mind of that pain, that resistance, that, oh, why me? Why is it me? This pain is so terrible. This pain is so challenging for me to deal with. How do I deal with it? How shall I deal with it? And all of the thoughts around it, and the resistance to having to deal with it. And so this quote here. Emotionally, we have many problems, but these problems are not actual problems. They are something created. They are problems pointed out by our self-centered ideas or views. So this is quite interesting as well, to see that these are like the second arrow. They're immaterial kinds of problems that we create inside of ourselves. Not to say that these aren't real, that the pain that we experience, this is this is shown through neuroscience as well, that your thoughts, your thinking, your seeing another person in pain actually causes pain. It causes pain receptors to fire in your brain. So these are manufactured perhaps by yourself in emotion, but it doesn't mean that the pain that you experience isn't real. It's just that we have a little bit more control over our emotional selves than the physical things that are happening to us. When someone says something to you, something that's emotionally charged and that's difficult for you to hear, one thing that you can remember is that those words are sounds. They're sounds that are entering your ear, and that it's your mind that creates meaning out of those words. So when you break down what it really is, it's really human voice, and it's nothing more than that. It's that when we comprehend it in language, it changes things, and that's when it becomes emotionally charging. Okay, we're going to get into practice. I'm going to have a quick look at the chat here before we do. Um, yeah, these quotes that I'm giving are all from Shunryu Suzuki today. Yeah, absolutely. Sam asks, the quotes are all Shunryu Suzuki quotes. So they come from various books and statements by Shunryu Suzuki. And Sam says feelings are not facts. That is the case too. Yeah, I know. I hear my yes. There is some baby cooing background noise going on. So I apologize for that. I think that's just going to have to be part of the practice today. And don't worry, he's being taken care of. I don't need to go back and worry about him. So we're going to go ahead and and get into practice. So get into your Zazen posture. Zazen is just the Zen way of talking about meditation practice, or the seated meditation practice. So sit comfortably. Allow your eyes to close if you like, or if you feel more comfortable with your eyes open, you can choose a place maybe 1 meter in front of you on the floor to allow your gaze to rest upon. And so arriving here in stillness, so finding whatever your posture is, whatever is comfortable for you today, hopefully a posture where your hips are a bit higher than your knees so you can have this natural curvature in the lumbar spine. Bringing your back away from your backrest so that you're sitting up with your own effort if that's possible for you. And so maybe you'll remember a week ago we were doing some breath work, so let's just go ahead and begin our practice today with a little breath work to help settle the body and settle the mind a bit. So we'll do box breathing. So we'll inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds. So continue breathing naturally for the moment. And then we'll begin our box breathing here now. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And now return to the natural pace of your breath. And observe. Observe the breath. Observe the physical sensation around your breathing. Observe the fullness of the inhale and the complete exhale. And see if you can keep your attention on these actual physical sensations of breathing. And so wondering perhaps, where do I feel the breath today? Do I feel it at the belly? Do I feel it at the chest? Maybe I feel my breath in my nostrils. So finding the breath and seeing if you can keep your attention held there and holding your attention there as best you can. Are you still focused on the breath? Or has the mind wandered? If the mind has wandered away, just acknowledging for a moment that that has happened. And gently coming back to the breath. And whatever the mind is wandering upon, when we find it wandering, what are the opinions about it? Opinions about mind wandering itself? What is the nature of the thing that has brought the attention away from our intentional focus on the breath? Intentional focus on the present moment. So after that distraction is noticed, seeing if through your attention you can allow that distraction, that thought, to self-liberate just through noticing that it's there. And then coming back to the observation of the here and now, the expansion and contraction of the body with the breath, the movement of air through the nostrils as you breathe, physical sensations in the present moment, in the here and now. And how about now? How is the mind? Where is the mind? The past is gone. The present is here. The beginning of the meditation is now. Strengthen your resolve. Come back to the present. Come back to these physical sensations. Feeling the body breathing. And as the practice goes on, we may find that physical pain starts to show up. We may find discomfort. And so there are a few ways to approach this discomfort. One is to first recognize it. Breathe 3 full deep breaths with our attention at that discomfort and see what happens. Does it change in any way? Can you feel it becoming more intense or less intense? Things are changing moment by moment, and maybe we can observe that. If that discomfort becomes too challenging, then by all means, we can begin to move. However, I would encourage you, before you move, take stock in how you are. The feelings that you have emotionally in your mind, also the sensations of discomfort in your body. And then plan how you're going to move, so that every movement you make is with intention. And then go ahead and move to make those adjustments, whatever they may be. And then after those adjustments are complete, take stock again. How are you feeling? Is the discomfort relieved? Is it relieved in a way that you expected it would be? How long does this new state of comfort last? You may find yourself agitated and discomfort coming again quickly. So just seeing the impact, the consequences of what's just happened. And noticing moment by moment how things continue to change, how the physical affects the emotional, how the emotional affects the mental, how all three of these things interact. Use this practice as a means of self-discovery. And then the second method, when we find ourselves in discomfort or pain, we can simply observe. Change the focus from the breath to the discomfort. Focus all of your attention there. Is it pain? Or is this just a word that I'm using because it's a word that I'm used to using? So seeing if we can let go of these labels, these mental distinctions, and instead observe those physical sensations for that raw information that it is. Just like when someone talks to you. It's not words that are going into your ears, it's the sound of voice. Can you feel your physical sensations for exactly that, these raw physical sensations, and observe without getting caught one way or the other, without labeling it, without making it good or bad, just seeing it for how it is and observing. Whatever is happening right now, you're not doing long-term damage to your body. This discomfort will subside in time. Can you be with it now? And for those of you who aren't experiencing any discomfort or any strong physical sensations, continue working with the breath. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, as this process repeats over and over again. Every moment that you're alive, you continue breathing. You're doing great. Keep it up. Not too much longer to go now. And so remember, whatever has happened in the past, even in the recent past, however the meditation's been going, it doesn't matter. Now the meditation begins. Keep focused on the present and physical sensations that you're experiencing in the present moment, whether they be discomfort or just following the breath. Expanding and contracting, followed by expanding, followed by contracting. In and out goes the breath over and over again. Can you be fully attentive to it, not letting a single breath pass without your awareness of it? So keep it up. You're doing great. We're almost there. Okay, 3 more minutes to go. Can you redouble your effort? Can you be fully present for these next 3 minutes? Strengthen your resolve. Focus on the present. And remember that mind wandering is normal and natural. It happens for all of us. So just come back each time you've wandered. Come back to feeling the breath once again. And now we'll draw our practice to its close. We'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. So stay focused on your breath until you hear the sound of the bell subside, or perhaps more accurately, no longer hear the sound of the bell. All right, so feel free to transition out whatever way is suitable for you. Maybe wiggling your fingers and toes, stretching out. So how was your practice today? How did things go? Feel free to write in the chat. I'll have a look as well. I see there's some chat while we were meditating. Yeah, it's not frozen. It's not frozen. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is frozen on your end. I don't know what your end is like. But I did want to kind of minimize the sound from my end. I mean, here's what muted mic sounds like. So that's maybe what you were experiencing. Yeah, I mean, as a mindfulness teacher, when I'm teaching class, I like to teach in person. And one of the reasons I like to teach in person is that, if we're doing a Zoom meeting or something, it's there's you're in your environment, and you're to bring you into a different environment certainly changes things. So bringing people into into a classroom with meditation cushions can be really helpful in helping them focus. And one thing that I do try and minimize is the other external distractions. I mean, you probably have enough distractions in your home as it is, and what you don't need is more distractions coming from my end. That's not. I'm not intending to have more distraction for you, so that we can find a space to practice together more easily. Thank you, Jean. And I agree with Sam, practicing in the midst of being lifey is a good skill to cultivate. And that's one thing I want to share with you today as well, is that I had a particularly hard time staying focused today. Partially because Frank did not have a successful litter box event right at the beginning of this live practice today. So, we've got sound, right? So my distractions today, I've got sound. I've got smell because of his unsuccessful incident. So now it's, that's unpleasant. And also, I don't want him sitting on the furniture or anything like that. And what else? Sight. Also noticed, open my eyes, and Frank's chewing on the wires connecting my computer to everything, right? So lots of little distractions for me today. Can I use that? Can I use it in my practice? One, how does an unpleasant smell affect me? I can see that. I can see, especially my desire when that began. Right, that's very close to the beginning of this hour practice. When that started, I'm just like, I want to fix that. I want to clean that now. I don't want to have to spend the next hour in that smell. And as well, right? I don't want Frank biting my wires. So all of these things that, and then the sound in the background, right? I don't want that sound to be bothering you in your meditation. And also, so all of this stuff going on. No, Frank. All of this stuff going on in the background, and having to deal with it. And right, it's good practice for life. So when I have some unpleasant smell that comes, what is my reaction to it? If I'm walking down the street and I pass the garbage collection receptacle, how does that affect me? Again, it's just information coming into my nose. Do I have some kind of physical, visceral effect because of it? And do I have some opinions about it? Do I have some thoughts that are generated because of it? So this can all be part of mindfulness practice. Leslie shares, my mind is a little busy and my back started to be sore 5 minutes to the end. Thanks, Leslie. Barbara shares, at about 35-minute mark, my mind objects, my body starts to My body starts to request loudly that I move. Something happens regularly for me about 35 minutes. Thanks. Unpleasant, yeah, for sure, Sam. It's unpleasant. And as soon as I hang up here, as soon as I finish here, I'm gonna have to go take care of Frank for sure. Gene shares, the hungry horde kept distracting me. I failed. Judgment, in parentheses, judgment, to feed them before we began, so repeatedly reminded me, and that became more and more naughty to get my attention. CC shares, I was able to keep practicing. Long time for me. Good job, congratulations. And that's all you have to do. Keep practicing. Practice for a long period of time. As long as you intend to be meditating, you are meditating, no matter what the state of your mind or your opinion about your mind, or your opinion about how it's going. As long as you're intending to meditating, as long as you are intending to meditate, you are meditating, and you should give yourself credit for it. CC asks, what's the difference between meditation and peaceful daydreaming? Meditation is focusing on the present, focusing on physical sensations in the present, and daydreaming is really the definition of mind wandering. So that's daydreaming is simply just letting the mind wander as it goes. So it's really, these are two, opposite things really. Daydreaming and meditation are don't have very much in common. And the state of the mind, right? If you're checking like on an fMRI, what's going on, when you're daydreaming is very much activation of the default mode network, whereas meditation is not. It's connecting into a different mode of the brain, the sensory mode. There's no name for the sensory mode, but it's the disengaging that default mode, which is what's happening all the time as we're thinking and daydreaming. Okay, thanks everybody for being here today. I'm going to go ahead and close. I'll be back on Monday my time in Singapore. Could be Sunday evening for many of you. We'll be talking about some basics of the body scan as we go back into this very basic, one of the very first meditations that we do, or the very first meditation we really do in mindfulness-based stress reduction. And remember, you can be mindful anytime. It's just about bringing attention to the present. You can bring attention to sounds. It doesn't have to be physical sensations. We'll talk in body scan about why we choose physical sensations to pay attention to, but it can be smells, it can be sounds, it can be anything that you're observing in the present moment. Thanks, Gene, for taking care of that. Thank you, CC, for your donation. Thanks, John. Thanks, Sam. Seriously. Oh, so nasty. All right. It's so true. I love you, but you stink, dude. I gotta go take care of you. I know, it's so bad, right? I'm like, oh, that's the one thing I didn't want. I'm like, I really don't want it to be seen, right? Okay. All right. Let's share our well wishes out. Thanks, Leslie, for your donation. May I be happy and peaceful. May all of you watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all sentient life across the universe and those yet to be born, I wish them all happiness and peace. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for being here, everybody. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.